Well, good morning. I'm Officer Ivan Tapia. I've been with the CDPD for 5 years. I kind of just fell into this role as far as being a public speaker. And it's funny that it works that way because when I started, they made me do a video. I'm sure you guys have seen it already. So the one with the movie in the park, if you guys have seen it, anybody has our YouTube, our Facebook, you've seen it already. So I got asked, hey, you want to be in a video? Do I have a choice? Good answer, rookie. And yet here I am now. No, seriously, we get involved in a lot of community projects. We've done, like Movie in the Park. We've done Kid Fish. We've done the bike rodeo a couple years ago. And Blue Santa is one of our biggest community events that we do. The Sealy PD is not just here to write tickets and, take people to jail and stuff. We actually do get involved with stuff like that as far as like community projects. The Blue Santa program itself, I know a lot of people kind of know what it is, but they don't really understand it too much. Basically, we ask for donations from the community as far as like toys, gifts, things that kids can play with. And we get a list of applicants in, and it's basically, for the most part, people who are just, it's the holidays, they're out of work, dad's low on hours, or, somebody got let go, or just a bad, situation where like, hey, I've had one this year where I visited an applicant in person and I talked to grandma and I was like, hey, you have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old? What's the deal? Well, long story short, parents are not around. So 60-something-year-old grandma gets to be mom and dad. So I was like, oh, that's kind of tough. Yeah, grandma should be retired, not raising an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. But that's who the program caters to. The people that really do need the help, the people that really like, hey, I want to give them a good Christmas, but I'm kind of on, Social Security here. Can't raise 2 kids and do all this stuff by myself. We end up setting up collection boxes around the city, and we've been doing this program for a long time. At first, it was just a few local businesses, and the program's gotten a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger every year. So this year, I think it's been an overwhelming amount of people that have come out of the woodworks and just like, hey, I want to be part of it. I want to be part of it. I'll try to set up donation boxes in areas that are like high traffic, like Tony's Restaurant or Allen's Barbershop has always been a big one for us. That's helped us out every year. The new guys in town, the FX Fitness Gym with the coffee shop, they're fairly new. I talked to the owners there and they were like, hey, we don't want 1 box, we want 2 boxes. Put one in the coffee shop and put one in the gym. I was like, oh, cool. And the more and more that I've gone and talked to people, like in those high traffic areas, people, you're gonna go to your projects, you're gonna go get your coffee in there and your breakfast, you're gonna go to Tony's and get your lunch and your dinners and all these other places. There's other places that have just surprised me altogether. Like there's a roofing company in town, they're like, hey, I know we don't get 30 people in the door a day. Most of them are phone calls, but the people that we do get, can we set up a donation spot? Yeah, absolutely. You guys want to do that? Yeah. And Lavalin as well, they don't really have customers coming in and out of the door, so to speak, but they wanted to do it as well. And they're like, hey, give us a box, give us 2 boxes, give us 3 boxes. We went over there the other day and the boxes were packed to the top, just full of gifts. We got anything from like bicycles, art kits, the big art kits that you can get, for like kids who really like to draw, that come with like everything in them. Your usual, your Tonka toys and stuff like that. Long story short, the community has really come together with this and really helped us out a lot. So I think it's really cool that like, when you run in that situation where like, hey, dad got laid off right before Christmas, we kind of want to get the kids some gifts, but we're kind of, can't. We have to pay bills. So we'll do that. We'll get it all set up. I'll run through all the applications. I'll go through the vetting process of making sure, yes, do they live in the city? Yes. Are they under, 12 or under? Yes. And so on and so on and so on. And then I'll figure out, hey, what do they like? Well, grandma that's raising the 8-year-old and 6-year-old said, hey, they already got a bike, but you know what? He really likes cars and he really likes Legos. Cool. If I see some Legos come across my way, he'll get them and I'll get that set up. There's no sense in getting him a bike if he's got one. And then, you know, vice versa. I'll try to figure out more or less what the kids like and try to make it a good Christmas for them. On the day of delivery is the coolest part, because we take our patrol cars, we take, one guy actually will dress up in the entire blue Santa suit, like head to toe, beard and everything. So you'll see the cops rolling down the street, lights on, sirens, everybody's like, what's going on? What's this? Well, who's that blue Santa guy on the back of that Hummer? What's going on? We'll show up, knock on the door. Hey, y'all home? Come on out. We got gifts. They're like, oh, it's the cops. Yeah, it's Santa. So yeah, we can do stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's just, I mean, you know, it's something that we just like to do. Yes, sir.
Ivan, do y'all have a thing like a list of specific items, or is it just whatever we throw in the box? Yeah, like a certain, like say a kid has a specialty, like I want a train set. That's not something normally you would get, but anything specialty like that?
Yeah, I mean, like if a kid asks for a train set and I don't get a train set, I mean, I'll ask like, hey, what else are you into? You know, well, I'm into this or that. There's no specific stuff, because long story short, we're asking for donations from the community. So I don't want to be, you know, real just like, I need you to donate this, I need you to donate that, and I need, like, hey, if it comes across our way, it comes across our way. And then if there's anything left in between to where I get down to it and I'm figuring out, hey, it's like a week before delivery or 2 weeks before delivery, and I've got like 3 kids that are under the age of 3, but I really don't have toys for them. I don't think a Nerf gun would be appropriate for them. So any monetary donations that we receive from the program as well, we'll try to fill in the gaps with it and say, okay, well, mom said that he likes an educational toy or a noisemaker or something like that, which most parents don't, right? But we'll find something. We'll try to figure out. So between us and the local stores, we'll go take that monetary donation that we receive and we'll go out and get that stuff and just kind of fill in the gaps in between it. Yes?
Do you work with any like community-based programs to help distribute the toys to make these kids happy? Like you said, about, you know, putting the toys to the personalities of the kids, of what they want, or, you know, what would make a good fit. How do you guys distribute them and put them in the houses?
Oh, so International Paper was very kind and has always been very kind to us. They donated a lot of boxes for us to go ahead and put each individual toy in. So I figure out family A, here's a box, fill it. Family B, so on and so on and so on and so on. I'm the one going through the list. I'm the one vetting everybody. So I'm actually I'm on the ground, hands-on, doing it to make sure that, hey, they get this. She loves dolls. She likes science stuff. He likes trains. They like cars. And I'll try to sort it out the best I can.
Cool, so this is like your baby.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Ivan.
Yes, sir.
Are these all new toys or
yes.
Used?
Yes.
Any used ones? Or?
Yes, we try to give out new toys. Anything that's, people are so nice too that sometimes they wrap them, but we have to unwrap them again because we got to figure out what they are. So they got to be age appropriate.
Don't wrap them?
No, if you donate a toy, don't wrap them. And I know people mean well, but it's just,
Okay.
well, I mean, I don't want to give like a 2-year-old girl a Barbie with like really small, that may not be appropriate. She might try to eat the comb or something, or the brush, or, you know, the shoes or whatever it came with. So we'll try to figure that out and just very age appropriate. And some people have even told me like, hey, my kid, you know, like she's a tomboy, she likes to play, she has an older brother, she likes to play with his stuff, but anything educational like puzzles or something like that, she loves that stuff. Or like board games, the kids really like getting engaged in like board games with the family, so that's perfect. It forces like the whole family to get together and play and like, you know, so we'll figure that out as we go along. Anybody have any questions?
Where do they get the applications, like if a family wanted to be included in it?
The Sealy Police Department.
Okay.
Yes.
They have to come to the police department?
Yes, they have to come to the police department. And here's the deal. The reason I didn't want to include it, like say, go to the elementary schools and give out a letter, is that we're doing it for the kids who actually live in the city. I understand the ETJ is a huge ETJ for Sealy, the extraterritorial jurisdiction. You can live in Cat Spring and be like zoned to Sealy schools, which that's a huge area to cover. But we as the police in the city of Sealy, we serve the city, and that's what we're trying to do, is just keep it with the city itself. And unfortunately, I have had those people in the past that try to apply and they're like, oh, I live in Brookshire, or I live in Columbus, or I live in Houston, or I live in Rosenberg. Well, the program's not for those people. The program's for the kids that live here. So we try to keep it here. And that's why I don't send out letters to the school. I don't, really like send out stuff everywhere. If you want to come get an application, you live in the city, you're probably not too far away from the police department. So that's where we're at with like applications and stuff. So I understand there's been some people that have been like, well, how come I don't get it? I live, just over here. It's far, city.
Do you mean like if your address is city address?
It has,
City, a little county, a little,
yes.
a little bit out, it's okay, or not?
Yeah, you got to be in the city limits.
City,
Yeah. Like this road back here, for instance, Mount Laurel, there's like a few properties. It's kind of split. There's a few properties that are actually in the city and there's a few properties in the county. The one behind us, Lujan, there's actually a few properties in the city and there's a few properties in the county. So as long as you live in the city limits, I can just verify that, then yeah, you're in.
okay.
So that's how it works. So long story short, we get gifts, sort them all out, hand them out to all the families that have applied for it, and we give them a great Christmas.
When do y'all distribute?
We're gonna shoot for the 20th or the 21st, somewhere in that time. I know Christmas fell on the 24th, which is a Monday. School's out. So I'm not sure if kids and families are gonna be traveling. We figured it'd be better as they're in school. They're gonna be in school the 20th and the 21st. So we figured that's probably a good target time to go ahead and get to their houses and deliver it. And we ourselves deliver it, because I know what you're asking earlier, like we do it ourselves. We'll show up, we'll have the boxes, we'll show up to the door, we'll knock. Some guy in a blue Santa suit will be running around, so.
And you have a deadline
That's neat.
For applicants or for toy pickup?
for toy pickup?
For the toy pickup, I'm gonna let it run probably until the last week. Until the last,
To get a donation box?
no, we'll still take toy donations. So, I mean, up until that last moment, because I don't know. I might go through the list and figure out, man, this kid really wanted Legos, and then like 2 days before, here's a Lego deal, perfect, here we go. So I'll just keep taking donations up until that point, and then we'll stop.
You mentioned some ages. Is there the age criteria that? And
12 and under.
So if a family has a 12-year-old or an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old, you're not only going to go with.
Right, because we figure at that point, when you're like teenager, young adolescent, a 16-year-old could probably, I don't think they want Legos, But the 12-year-old and under, those are the kids that, we really want to just shoot for that age. Anybody have anything else? Any
Children do you
questions?
distribute to?
It varies.
Say for example, last year.
Last year, I think we served about 100 families.
It's a lot of families.
Yep.
A lot of happy kids.
We're about 100 kids, and I think the limit was 150 that we were going to do. So I think it was somewhere in that range. It was a lot. It was quite a bit. It actually took a couple days to deliver. Unfortunately, last year I was sick, so I was like dog sick, so I couldn't make the delivery. Like the last days where it came to it, I was like, man, I just can't get out of bed. I'm going to have to have someone else help me out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good turnout. It's always been a good turnout, so. Yes, ma'am.
Use volunteers to help you sort or wrap or do any of that?
And that's part of it too. Thank you for hitting on that. We've had a lot of people just straight up call us and like, hey, I used to live in Sealy. I moved like 10 years ago, but I want to come and help wrap. Really? Okay. I'll have the high schools reach out to us. Citizens of the community. We'll have, Girl Scouts reach out to us. Like everybody just wants to jump in on it. So that's what I said. It's really overwhelming when you're getting all these emails. I get back to work and I find like 5, 6, 7 emails. I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. I want to help. I've never met you before. Well, yeah, come on.
I've actually helped wrap every year. How fun you do.
So do you have like a wrapping day, and where is it done at, and how does somebody sign up to come help do that?
Yeah. So thank you for asking that question too. The program is always, it's never the same every year as far as, it's a very dynamic program. So I don't ever know how many families I'm going to have until I cut it off. The deadline cutoff was the 30th of November. There's been a few that have skated through that I've like found little issues with their paperwork, and I just told them, hey, I just need to get your updated driver's license, or I just need to get an updated form, and then I can verify all your information. So once I cut it off, I have about 2 or 3 weeks to figure out how many people do I have this year. Did I have 30 people apply? Did I have 50 people apply? Did I have 100 people apply? I don't know. So once I figure that out, I'll start sorting, and then I'll figure out, okay, after I've sorted and after I've filled in the gaps, then let's wrap stuff. So the date on wrapping stuff is never known. If I can knock it out faster, I'll knock it out faster. If I takes a little longer to get everything sorted out, then we'll just kind of play it by ear. So,
And if anybody wants to jump in and help you, how would they contact you to do that?
yeah, they can contact me at the Sealy PD. Just call our dispatcher. They're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. They'll send me an email. Just leave her all your contact information, and I'll get back with you on the day that we're going to wrap, or days that we're going to wrap, depending on how many gifts we get.
That's Amanda that answers the phone.
Yes, that's our dispatcher, Amanda.
She's very friendly, so you need to call.
And if it's a guy that answers, she's probably at lunch. It's probably somebody else filling in. So, any other questions?
Awesome. We're excited.
Well, thank y'all for having me.